Right, Department of Work and Pensions are playing games with us, expecting me to look for work up to 35 hours a week. Or if not, they'll reduce my payments, which I've already done so when I was away on holiday, because I wasn't available for work. Even though I've told them about my problems, gave them links to my social media, showed them the ultrasound, infrasound readings, but obviously the works coach who you go and see, the employee, when you go for these interviews, they're just doing their job. But the management need to realise what's going on, and I can't expect to go to work while I'm being radiated and having direct energy weapons fired at us. The ultrasound's been on since 5:11 p.m. from last night, yesterday evening, and they're pinging from, they're testing out various distances in the local area from 1,000 metres away. Their signal started from 43 Campion Close, and it's still on now at 11:53 a.m. And go and check the previous information. The level is on minus, so they're doing extreme low frequencies, testing the extreme low frequencies, and the negative to the positive. There's a positive one. This is just around Saul Street, coming off my road, or my drive. This is on the side there, where I put the bins out. This is round the back of us. Signal started from there. Just at the bottom of my flat. Signal come from 16 metres away. So as far as I can see, they're coming from the antennas. And some operator is controlling the ultrasound frequencies coming into my property from various distances, using whatever's in the infrastructure, in the lighting system, the antennas. To the cell towers around the back of here, down the road. And it says they've got some operator controlling all this. Let's go through all the readings. It's not the same addresses. 86 Chandler Drive comes up a lot. So there's 43 Campion Close. So there's the bottom, 122. And where you get the same addresses, sometimes the distance is different. A couple of times when I optimise the app, it'll come up with no address when it first comes back on. That comes up often 128. There's every day the ultrasound is on. That's from mother's area. When I go and visit my mother's house. The operatives, because they're track and tracing us with these technologies, they know exactly where I go 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. I've had these apps for 4 years odd. That's when I'm in the doctor's surgery. So they know I'm in the doctor's surgery, track and trace me there, doing illegal non-consensual research studies, clinical close-up, biometrics and EEG readings. And it's all illegal. I've opted out the NHS, so anything I've got on my NHS and my GP records or in the hospitals should not be shared. So how can they involve healthcare social workers to try and do anything to me when I'm doing nothing illegal, not doing breach of peace, noise nuisance, or being a public nuisance anywhere in public? So social workers can't get involved. They can't listen to the community members, ex-work conspirators, and they can't get data from non-consensual researchers who are doing all this to me and my family. They do, because they're criminal practising. They love to criminal practice. Now put in for sound. That was 23 minutes ago. It went off. User addresses. And it's used together with ultrasound for illegal biometric study and EEG study, which is all non-consensual. And that's why we want the UK police force to investigate it all. Whoever's responsible, taken to international courts, charged crimes against humanity and doing human behavioural modification programming and non-consensual research studies in mine and my family's human anatomy, human biology and brainwaves, EEG. And that's where they're getting photographs, videos and sound recordings of me and my family every single day, 24 hours a day. And I think they can put it into some kind of a clinical close-up, hidden case studies for NHS England, while training their boys and girls, but operatives, to do biometrics and neuroscience experiments and training how to use other technologies that they've implemented in Coventry City Council establishment and in the police force. While there's a criminal network they're conspiring with in Coventry community and Birmingham community, which Birmingham being the second biggest city in the UK, has got a financial backing, funding and resources in the West Midlands Police Force and in and healthcare have jumped on the bandwagon, collaborating and conspiring with private detectives, operatives who control whatever's being put into the infrastructure in these cities. And they're all conspiring together, trying to master the new technologies in track and tracing, biometrics and neuroscience. So they can weaponise the healthcare, NHS and the police force, surveillance monitoring and clinical close-up research studying, profile making, and get away with free hidden case studies. Well, of course, the targets I've got it in for, they're radiating the minds, bodies and souls, saturating them with radiation and giving them all kind of biological, neurological and human anatomy problems, disabilities, illnesses and symptoms. It's a major conspiracy being covered up. Every day the infrasound is on. And that's part of the weaponised system on me and my family, ultrasound and infrasound, and the other apparatus on the hidden devices detector that detects radiation emitting cameras, radiation emitting microphones, spyware, hence I can do cybercrime on my internet connections and mobile phone, and studs, which is linked to sensory circuitry that's been embedded around my property and in the infrastructure. So the creaking above my ceiling, the creaking is linked to the EMF, electronic magnetic frequency. The magnetised sensory circuitry damages the ceiling and makes a noise every time they stick a signal to it and move it around. There you go, Covert Court. That's the Department of Work and Pensions, being tracked and traced in there. All my conversations listened to, because I want to intercept every conversation so we know where we're going, know what we're doing, so we can use it for psyops and anticipate anything that I talk about in this Department of Work and Pensions, whether I'm looking for work or whether I'm going to go for any other benefits. Yeah, and that's all illegal. Criminal practising, invasive, intrusive, and non-consensual research studies. So yeah, every day, the infrasound left on. Many readings throughout the whole day. As you can see, non-stop radiation, non-stop torture, no privacy whatsoever, 24 hours a day. So the book has to be thrown at Coventry Council establishment and all their conspiring organisations, NHS people, police officers, social workers, and whoever's part of the mental health administration department, that includes psychiatrists. They all need to be investigated. And if you amplify this recording, you'll hear the magnetic frequency and magnetic taps on my ceiling after doing Neuroscience Skulduggery and illegal, non-consensual research on my human anatomy and the biological system. It comes with experience of being a long-term target and an intuition and natural noises. You can decipher what ain't natural and what shouldn't be there. And all the creaking, all the noise above my ceiling, that should not be there. And that's linked to the EMF and magnetic sensory circuitry. That's causing the noises above my head, all around my ceiling, because they're trying to synchronise all parts, all sides of the brain to collate EEG readings, heterodyning, brain hemorrhaging, doing psyops to try and stir up brain waves. This is trying to induce your brain waves to give a reaction. So we're on the left side of the brain, on the right side of the brain, left and right hemisphere of your brain, at the front, behind and above. That's why it's constant noise of magnetic frequencies above my ceiling. Neuroscience Skulduggery.